machines are gonna fail. And the system's gonna fail.
The past is past, the future's now.
Don't look at me. I think these people are completely nuts.
Sometimes trouble just follows a man.
There is another organism on this planet that follows the same pattern. Do you know what it is? A virus.
Can't you stop your lips from flapping for 2 little minutes?
It's because I'm white.
I'm a man. I'm sensitive. I need to feel loved. I need to be desired.
I'm rapidly becoming a big underground success in this town.
It's a question of methods. Everybody wants results, but nobody wants to do what they have to do to get them done.
And now, coming to you live from Kalispell, Montana, brought to you by Northwest Liberty News, it's Montana Gazette Radio with your host, James White. So I'm your host, James White. This is Montana Gazette Radio. Thanks so much for joining me here in the broadcast. Let me crank this volume up here a little bit so I can hear myself better. It is the 28th day of December, 2020. We certainly do appreciate you joining us here live on the broadcast as we try to make sense of the current madness that has befallen this nation in 2020. And we are delighted again that it only looks like, 3 days left here in this year. And we are hopeful and prayerful that next year will be way better than this year. And I don't know how it could be. I don't know how it could be much worse. Anyway, thanks so much for joining us here. If everything's working properly, it should be simulcasting on multiple platforms, a couple of Facebook pages. There's a critical disclosure Facebook page as well that this is broadcast on, along with Northwest Liberty News. And same with YouTube. There's a critical disclosure YouTube page as a backup in case something happens to my Northwest Liberty News. And we're on Periscope and others. I think Periscope's going away soon. But we appreciate you joining us here, and tune in on Podbean if you'd like. Okay, so what we're doing here today is, first of all, I hope you had a wonderful break, a wonderful Christmas break. I haven't broadcasted in the last couple of days. I've been kind of just toning it down a little bit. A lot's been going on, as you know, and it's nice every once in a while, especially around the holiday times, to take a break, and I can actually, spend some time with my lovely family, which I don't do a lot because I'm here working all the time. Now, thankfully, my children are a little bit older now, and they're a lot more independent, of course, than they used to be. So it's not so impactful, but still, I like to be around and spend time with my family because I love them. And I hope you'd had that chance to do that as well. And we're delighted for all those people out there that reached out to us and gave us well wishes on the Christmas, and we appreciate that. Today we're going to talk, if we can, about a few things here. A lot's happened recently. If you're not familiar with the bombing event that went here a couple of days ago, and there's been some speculation that this is a direct energy weapon, perhaps a missile. I've seen the video of apparently this RV, and if you can get the like button for me, I appreciate that. Hit the like button, and that helps boost up the views, which I crush, but a little bit helps. If you've seen the event here in Nashville by the AT&T building, there are some very compelling videos that make it look like it's maybe a direct energy weapon or a missile that landed there. I can tell you one thing: the damage looked pretty extensive for something that was inside an RV. I wasn't there, don't know. Although I know they've got seemingly a patsy now. As they usually do. They have a person now that they claim that they know what's going on, and of course they come up with that pretty quickly. And you wonder if that's even accurate. I do, of course, anything that has anything to do with anything that has any information has to do with the FBI, I'm immediately suspect of, as we know. And this is not to disparage all FBI agents, but as I've stated on this show before, sadly, many of them are corrupt and have sold out to the dark side, I guess you could say. So we're going to continue to press forward here and just put out truth as best as we know. And it's one of the things, again, folks, that is the most difficult task for us here on the show is discerning what's truth and what's not truth. I think there's a lot of disinformation being put out right now on purpose, even by the Trump administration, to sort of, throw the enemy off balance. And it really is an enemy out there, folks, and we really are in a war here. Really are in a world war. Frankly, it's not one that's conventional. It's been fought before, where people are on front lines and people are, shooting each other with mortars and small arms yet. But we are in a war right now with a foreign entity that is trying to overthrow this republic, and we all have to stand up. And as you're seeing now, a lot of people are coming out now. A lot of the people that were, involved, been involved for a long time, are coming out and saying, it's about us. We have to stand up. We have to get mobilized. We have to let people know that we're not going to put up with it anymore. And I agree. It's always been about us. And as I've stated on this show numerous times, there's not going to be no one's going to ride in on a white horse and protect us and save us and, flying with a cape. That's why I think President Trump is calling for everybody to be in D.C., as many people as can go there on the 6th. I won't be going. I'll be going probably to Helena, as a matter of fact. There's an event going on there in Helena, our own capital here, and there's a swearing-in ceremony there, the legislators there. And I'm going to be there for that. That's the plan anyway. So I won't be in D.C., but I will be certainly there in spirit with those that are there. Now, there may be some people I know that are going that I may be able to connect with, but I have to set that up still. So I got some breaking information here from Jordan Hall, who that publishes on the Montana Daily Gazette here just before the show. And I'm certainly waiting for the sauce, and I'm sure he has it here. He has it. I just got the email from him, the synopsis. Bombshell report just out of Wuhan, conducted by the Brits, say 3 million asymptomatic positive cases, infected 0 people. Contact tracing, in short, only systematic people can spread COVID. The report is so large and conducted by such prestigious researchers on both East and West, it's next to infallible. In other words, lockdowns built on premise healthy people can spread it is now totally debunked. So the summary is the lockdowns built on the premise that healthy people, like they lock healthy people down, that has now been debunked. So what I think that, of course, that's great news. Here's the thing. I think that a lot of people have known for a long time that this is a fraud and a scam. However, what's done about it, right? We know it. We see it. We know it. We can, in this article, one of the first stories I'm going to cover here is about this event that I recorded last weekend. We're in Plains. I put out a couple of videos. I posted an article in Montana Daily Gazette earlier on that, and included the audience questions. And I suggest that I would suggest that you go there if you want to hear, what regular salt of the earth Montanans have to say about it. Mark French, who conducted who emceed really and hosted the event there in Plains, went around to the audience, some questions before and comments about why people were there. And, I think what you'll find is the general consensus that I get as I was looking over the video and editing it, you're not really fooling anybody here in Montana mostly. I mean, we know pretty much, we see the fraud, we see the scam, and as other people do as well, all across the country. You see where this gym owner, I want to say it's in New Jersey, he kept getting $15,000 fines. I think he just kept ripping them up right on air, and I should say on air, but live, I think on YouTube, and had videos and clips of him tearing things up and saying he's not going to comply. And then the judge, stood up and agreed with him. And he is he's no longer on the hook for those fines, for those exorbitant fines that they give you for something that's not even a law, folks. It's a mandate. It's a mandate. It's not even a law, right? Laws are created by lawmakers, legislators, people that you vote for directly. You say, well, I voted for the governor. Sure, you did, but it's not a dictatorship. The governor doesn't have all knowing and all authority and power over everything. For a temporary emergency situation, granted, the governor can put out an executive order, but as Ron Gibson was on the show here a couple of weeks ago, and we'll have Ron back here again soon. As Ron Gibson stated, the executive orders given out by a governor or a president are not for the folks. They're not for the regular folks. They're for the Department of Health and Human Services. They're for, in the president case, for example, the Department of Agriculture or the Department of Defense. That's what these executive orders are directed towards, these agencies. They're not directed towards individual folks, people on the street. And again, I suggest you look back on the Ron Gibson episode that I did here with Ron. He's a constitutional lawyer for 48 years now, and he is a pretty smart cat. If you haven't checked out any of his videos, you can go on Northwest Liberty News and check out. Just type in "The Truth Will Set You Free," and it's like a 5-video part. It's free, all free there on my YouTube channel, and you can see all of Ron's great work that he's done there. And again, he'll be back on the show again, plenty, Lord willing, as they say. Okay, so let's hit some of these things here. I'm going to hit some of this stuff right away. I discussed it briefly here, but let me go here and hit this, and this should work. Situation update, December 27th in Nashville, a data wipeout operation. It's from Mike Adams over at Natural News. The Nashville bombing incident, which targeted an AT&T and NSA spy hub data center, was clearly an effort to destroy hardware systems and stored data located in a hardened facility at the site. The clown show of fake news media wants you to believe that this incident was a lone bomber. Okay, so keep this in mind here. A couple things I want to do. I want to comment on this about right here. It was designed to wipe out and destroy hardware systems and stored data. All right, let's harken back, if we can, here to September 11th, 2001, when Building 7 went down into its own footprint, not being hit by a plane at 5:23, I believe, in the afternoon. Larry Silverstein, you've seen the interviews where he said, we realized that we couldn't salvage the building, and I'm paraphrasing, so we decided to pull it. We decided to pull it, and the building collapsed into its own footprint. Never before has it happened. Has a steel frame building done that due to fire, and especially this one that wasn't hit by a plane. But what was the key factor in there? All the records and everything, all of the detailed investigations that were going on to take down the deep state, many of them were located in that Building 7. And that was, of course, they were extinguished when the building collapsed. Let's go back to Oklahoma City bombing. What was inside that building? All the files and the evidence that proved the Gulf War syndrome. All of that stuff was stored there. They let off a bomb to blow that up. Now they've got all the fraudulent voter data information, and they try to blow that up. You understand, this is how these people operate. They just burn stuff down, right? They can't build anything. They can only destroy things. Like they burn cities down. They'll burn down any agency that they have to protect the information. Now, if I heard correctly, again, I think it was in New Jersey, maybe somewhere out east, where there was some sort of one of the facilities that actually created the ballots happened to burn down a couple of days ago, if I remember correctly. And someone can please in the chat room, if they've heard that story, what I'm talking about. I want to say there was something. There was the facility that created the votes that actually printed the ballots, and I believe it was out east, burned down or had a fire the day after the Nashville thing or the 2 days after. I don't remember specifically, but they destroy the evidence by lighting it on fire, because it's not retrievable at that point. I mean, once you burn a piece of paper up to ash, it's impossible to read at that point, because it's not even in its whole form. So this is a effective way to destroy data. Again, talk to me about it. It's speculation. I observe, analyze things as you would, and it looks to me like they're trying to destroy the information, destroy the evidence. Wouldn't be the first time. It shouldn't shock anybody. This is the way that this is their MO. So yeah, this is a attempt to destroy data, and again, not the first time. So let's move over here more locally. I just published this article here on Montana Daily Gazette. Concerned Montana patriots meet to discuss freedom and dispel fear. This was out in Plains, Montana, at the Plains Bible Church, and there was a great group of patriots there, hosted again by Mark French. And as you see this first video here, acting locally, Montana citizens express concern about lockdowns, and I think plandemic is the actual title. If you go here to this article, and I'll put it in the chat room here for you. If you go to this article and check it out, you can hear that. You can watch that quick video. It's not very long, of the audience members there talking about their concerns and why they showed up to the event. And I listed some of the quotes here. I believe that this is being used as an excuse to depopulate the United States. Another commenter said, "I'm here for my kids because I believe that they deserve a future." Another commenter, audience member, said, "I've never seen anything so orchestrated that all the news media is saying the same thing." So you can see that video there if you just go to this website. You go to the link there, Montana Daily Gazette. It's the top story. And also underneath here is the full presentation. It's a couple hours long, with some great speakers. Rick Jor, everybody did well, but Rick Jor, if you're familiar with Rick, if you're around here and you're a Montanan, you know Rick Jor, former legislator Rick Jor, a man of the highest integrity. He was there talking about constitutional matters and how all that ties into, mandates and forced vaccinations and everything. So great presentation, and I'm going to put up another article and highlight Rick's. He did about 25 or 26 minute presentation there, and it was great stuff. Everyone did great. Don't get me wrong. But of course I know Rick. I've known him for a while. I don't know the other two gentlemen very well, but I do know Rick, and always great to have Rick around, speaking truth, which is what he does well. Okay, so let's pop back over here to this news here. I'm not sure if you've seen this. This is the kind of stuff here. And so as a follow-up, let me hit this here. As a follow-up to this article where citizens get together to discuss freedom and dispel fear, we've got this restaurant owner blockades the health inspector's car in protest for shutdowns. I'm not sure if you saw this. We're not going to play the full video here. But this guy blocks the health inspector, the business owner, blocks the health inspector and says, "Listen, I can't work, so they can't work." So parks his truck right behind the health inspector's vehicle. The cops show up, and we'll watch this a little bit here. Like I said, we won't watch the whole thing. This is from Rumble. I have an account on Rumble here, and I'm going to begin putting videos on Rumble. I haven't done that just yet, but let's watch this.
Please. Oh yeah, I'm blocking his ass. Yeah, because he wants to come in here and say no one can work, so he can't work either.
Where do you work?
Bread and barley, right there.
Are you, what's his brother?
I'm Carlos Ron.
The owner of Bread and Barley? Okay. So you're the owner of Bread and Barley, right? So this guy's saying that
You have the guy standing there talking to the cop. He owns that truck, and he has parked it right behind the health inspector's vehicle, and said, "If I can't work, then they can't work." And again, you look back on our current situation here with the lockdown. No member of Congress who has kept people locked down or I should say held back relief from those that have been locked down, and local legislatures, governors specifically, that have pulled this lockdown shenanigans. None of them stopped getting paid. They've all still got paid. They've all still received a paycheck, even though they encourage everybody else to stay home and work out of their house or do whatever they have to do to try to scrape by. These scoundrels continue to receive pay. It doesn't affect them, right? Remember, they see themselves in a different class. They hate us. They hate you. They hate you. They hate you. They hate me. They hate your children. They hate your parents. They hate your friends, your neighbors, your co-workers. They hate them all. They hate this country. They hate freedom, right? This is the people that we're up against. This is the people, they hate us. Anytime that they say they're going to come out and do something to benefit us, it's a lie. They don't do anything to benefit us unless the boomerang effect also benefits them on the back end. If it somehow benefits them, like you say, oh, well, they're going to agree to this $2,000, right? But all the other stuff that's in there, the boomerang effect will be way more riches and underhanded payoffs are going to be able to be made, and money funneling and money laundering is going to be able to be put in operation to benefit them. Measly $2,000. They're sending millions and tens of millions of dollars to countries. You don't think that money's going to snap back to them? Look at the whole thing here with the publishing company where Barack Obama gave this publishing company, was it Pearson, $300 million contract to do the Common Core books. And then, of course, they sign them for a $50 million book deal afterwards. No, nothing to see here. Just move along, folks. That's all natural and normal. It's all natural and normal for a president to grant the ability to create a whole line of textbooks to a private company. And then that same private company comes back and inks a book deal with that same president who gave him the multi-$100 million deal. They kick back, whatever percentage to him, like a sixth or something back to that. Say, well, that's really pessimistic, Jim. That's really, if you really think that I'm being harsh, or I'm trying to spread propaganda, you just really don't know how the world works. I mean, I don't know what else to say to you. I'm glad you're here, but you have to understand, this is all a ruse. This is all a con. This is all a trick. It's all a trick. It's all a con. It's all a ruse. It's all been a lie. All of it. All the stuff that we've been taught. All the stuff that we've been told. Right? Again, what are you going to do when you find out that they've had cures for these cancers? Some of these cancers for decades. Decades they've had cures for some of these cancers. But you know what? It wasn't profitable. It wasn't profitable to put the cures out into the public. Because there's no profit in health. Do you understand? I mean, sure, if you're a gym owner or if you sell, protein powder or something, right? That pales in comparison to the amount of cash the pharmaceutical companies make. I mean, are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? It's like a grain of sand on the beach. These companies have made trillions of dollars over the years. Trillions of dollars, these drug companies, right? This is one of the key enemies, in my view, that we're up against, is the big pharma conglomerate cabal, right? They do not want people to be well. They don't want people to be well. Well people don't go to the doctor and get prescriptions and then start taking one prescription, and then they got to take 3 prescriptions, and they got to take 5 prescriptions. Have you ever seen this? You ever seen how that operates? I've seen it personally, and I won't say from who, but the person starts out with 3 or 4 prescriptions. By the time it's all done, 19 prescriptions daily. Because this one makes you tired, and then this one picks you up, and then this one makes you constipated, and this one helps your bowels move, and then this one dehydrates you, and this one helps you urinate. I'm not joking. This is literally we're chemical. We're lab rats. We're freaking lab rats for these drug companies. It's just the truth. It's the truth. And I haven't even got in to what goes on at children's hospitals when they kidnap these children and do unauthorized experimentation on them, the drug companies, outside of the purview or outside the seeing eye of the FDA, which is nothing but a revolving door anyway. How many FDA heads were former drug company heads? Just look into it. A lot, right? This is a whole fraud. This is a whole scam. This is another con. And the only way we're going to break this con and this scam is for people to be educated and to wake up to it. And don't call people like me conspiracy theorists. Believe me, I've been called worse. I mean, take the blinders off for a minute and just think about what I think about hey, you know what? I'm going to give the guy a chance. Maybe what he's saying is really true. I'm going to look into it. Don't believe me. Don't believe anything I say. Look into it yourself. Because the more you look into it yourself and the more you research it, it's much more powerful if you come to these conclusions on your own than having some guy in a goofy microphone here tell you about it himself, right? It's so much better if you just look it up yourself and find out yourself. Much more effective that way, and that's what I encourage you to do. Okay, a couple more stories here. We're going to call it at least for now. So Commissioner Randy Pinocchi's been on the show before. I wanted to try to get him on here the last couple of days to have him on the program. Maybe I will in the next day or two. But he wrote an op-ed piece there. I just want to remind people that are having problems paying the utility bills. You can go to this website. You can go to our website here, Montana Daily Gazette. I'll put the link in the description there. If you're in Montana and you're having trouble paying your energy bills here this year, let me go back over here. You can go to this website here. You can go to Montana Daily Gazette. I just put it in there, and you see Commissioner Pinocchi there. During the holidays, Randy Pinocchi reminds Montana there's help paying utility bills. Go here to this website, and there's information that you can get here to apply for assistance. There's a phone numbers here, and you can go to energysharemt.org and get help paying your bill. We don't want anybody, of course, especially with the Montana winters, we don't want anybody going without heat, especially if they have children. That's for sure. Not that we want anybody to go without heat, but if you have children especially. Okay, last article we're going to cover here, and we see this. We knew this all along. Again, the bombshell. Fauci admits to lying to the public to convince them to take unnecessary vaccines, and he admitted to lying to the public before because he wanted to say don't wear masks, because he wanted to save the masks for the frontline workers. The guy's a two-time liar that we know of, and I'm sure a multiple-time liar, just two-time liar that we know of. And this is the guy that now says things are not going to get back to normal again until the fall of next year. This is just to flatten the curve. Remember that whole thing? We just want to flatten the curve. 2 weeks. We just want to flatten the curve. Oh, yeah? Can you see the plan that progressed all along, folks? And here's the problem. They do this stuff so incrementally that people don't remember what was said, 10 months ago. They're so into it every day, and it's so intense, and it's so in your face. And anytime you flick through, I don't have TV like that cable, but if you go to the gym, for example, I go to the gym, CNN's on there. I don't know why, but CNN's on like stations, and they got, of course, plastered on there, coronavirus deaths, deadliest day ever. And then again, they have people on there again today, right? I'm listening to my headphones, but I can see what's going on. Coronavirus, the hype. The second wave is worse than the first. Do you understand the fear? Do you understand the fear? Like people, this is a trauma-based mind control operation. Understand that for a second. Trauma-based mind control. Just let that sink in for 1 minute. Think about the words that I just stated and what they mean. Trauma-based mind control. What is the trauma part of it? What is the trauma part of it? The trauma part of it is if you don't comply, you're going to die. Right? They hype up all the people in the nursing homes that die. Now remember, still the survival rate of this is, I want to say, more than 99% on overall. So this is not, this isn't, as far as deadly diseases go, come on, not even close. Not even close. And then how about all this dancing with going on with the doctors and the nurses and stuff? All these, it's like a freaking one big Macarena party or something they're doing there. Are you kidding? Are you kidding me? Literally, go back and look at the photos of the 1918 pandemic when people were lying out in hospital beds in mass warehouse settings because there were so many victims, so many patients. The doctors standing around wearing masks. There's nobody dancing and doing TikTok videos and all that stuff. What's up with all that? Really? And if these people are so inundated with patients, they got time to make like a full-blown music video? I mean, with it's all choreographed. I mean, these people just didn't automatically jump in the middle of the room and decide to do all these dance moves simultaneously by themselves. I mean, it doesn't work that way, folks. It doesn't work that way. These are choreographed, like mini productions during the worst pandemic of all time where people are just overwhelmed. Do you understand? It's right in our face. They hate you. They hate you. Oh, they do. They hate you. They hate me. Everybody. Your neighbors, friends, co-workers. I hate them all. You see, can't you see can't you see the disdain that they have for you? By how they mock you and mock me and put it in our face? They lock down the country and cripple it financially and then create music videos for the frontline workers to, I don't even know what to say. I don't even know what to say about that. I mean, I actually took 2 or 3 of them and had them on my Twitter account and forwarded them because I wanted to bring them up here, but I forgot. But you've seen them. They're doing these full dance maneuvers, these full blown dance acts and routines. Everybody's moving in unison. It's like some stage play. Well, it is a stage play. It is, basically. It is. It's a fraud. It's a con. It's a ruse. It's a trick. And the only way it's going to stop is if we all say, no, we're not going to do it anymore. We are not going to comply with your fraud any longer. Understand, this is our quest, folks. This is our quest. Right? Remember, once the person being conned recognizes the con falls apart. That's what you and what I'm doing and what you should do, humbly submit to you. That should be your quest, is to wake as many people up as you can, because once they reach that tipping point where enough people wake up, the whole is exposed and their whole entire infrastructure crumbles. It can't sustain itself. The only reason they're able to sustain the lie is because you are allowing them to. You're allowing them to. Like this guy that gets up in the middle of Costco on the table and starts talking in the microphone, or the guy that I just showed you that parks his truck behind the health inspector. This is how you win. This is how you win. Watching Tucker Carlson and going, yeah, Tucker, he sure showed them. And then you're done, right? You watch it, you get angry, Tucker told him, and then you just stop acting at that point. Or you turn on Hannity and you hear him rant for 30 minutes. And now you just feel like there's nothing. I don't need to do anything. These guys got it all covered. Tucker and Hannity, they got it all covered, man. These guys are right, okay. All right. Even if you think that. What happens when they're rolling down your street to throw a Molotov cocktail in your house because you got a Trump flag? You think Tucker and Hannity are going to be there standing guard on your porch? Don't try it around here. You think so? You think so? Nope. Ain't going to happen that way. It's going to be up to you, and it's going to be up to your neighbors. Right? So don't get lulled into a sense of action by watching people on TV or watching people on YouTube. Well, they say exactly what I think. Okay? Well, why don't you act on it now? That's what we need to do. And I encourage everybody, if you can make it out to D.C., make it out to D.C. If not, go to your local capital. I mean, of your state, I should say. Go to the capital of your state. And if that's too far, go downtown to your city hall, right? And if that's too far, sit on your front porch and wave a flag. Do something. Do something. That's the only way we're going to defeat these people, is if we all stand up. It's our government, folks. It's our country. It's our country. Usurpers and criminals have taken it over and captured the majority of us. It's up to those that are not captured. It's up to those that are awake to rescue everybody else. It's true. There's no other way to put it. And the way to do that is there's multiple fronts to do that on. Okay, and whatever, I can't speak for you I do videos, radio show, articles, that type of thing. That may not be your gig. It's maybe talking to your neighbor. Maybe you're a real social butterfly one-to-one, but you don't want to go in front of the videos and TV. That's fine. That's fine. Right? There's a place for you. There's a place for you somewhere. Find out what it is and do it. Because once we lose this country, it's going to take who knows how long to get it back if we ever do. If we ever do. That's all I got here today. For now, I should say. Appreciate you looking in. I'm going to try to get a guest on a little bit later on. I've been trying to connect with. We'll see. I may do an afternoon show if I can get a guest on. We appreciate you looking in here. If you want to support this program, you can go to MontanaDailyGazette.com, MontanaDailyGazette.com, or MontanaGazetteRadio.com, or the flagship northwestlibertynews.com. And please support our sponsors, the Corner Shop, which is in downtown Kalispell. Dan Korn and his folks down there do a great job. Actually, I have to call them and talk to them here, hopefully today after the show. I actually got to call Dan. But that's where I take my stuff. So you 755-7777, 755-7777. If you're in Kalispell, Montana, and you're looking for some car repair, the full-service auto repair facility, the Corner Shop there on in Main Street. Appreciate you looking in. We'll hopefully have you back later on. See you later on. Until next time, James White for Northwest Liberty News and Montana Gazette Radio saying bye now.